So first I want to just talk about how common failure is in college. Most students were very successful high school students. To get to college, it takes quite a bit of success in high school. So a lot of students have never really experienced academic failure until they get to college. And then once they get to college, they're hit with their first C, or their first D, or their first F, and they're not sure what to do. It's the first time that they've actually been hit with this kind of failure. And this happens to students for a lot of reasons. One, whereas they were maybe one of the top students at their school in high school, in college there's a lot of great students, and so they're competing against a lot of very capable students. Two, especially in freshman year, the courses are designed to give a lot of low grades. They're meant to be sort of weed out courses, so a lot of students get a bad grade just because a lot of bad grades are given when they weren't in high school. And three, some students, when they get to college, they just find themselves sort of struggling in that first year, figuring out how to manage their time, figuring out how to study. That adjustment to college can just be tough. So how do we respond to failure? How do you react when you do get a bad grade? Here, another story can be perhaps useful telling. When I was in college, I heard a story from my psychology professor, and I thought it was fascinating, so I'm going to share it with you. It turns out that the job with the highest rate of turnover is life insurance salesperson. And if you think about it, it makes sense. Life insurance salespeople have to cold call people and ask them to think about their own death. And nobody wants to think about their own death, especially with a stranger. So they get hung up on all the time. And somebody decided to do a study of life insurance salespeople and find out what separates the ones who quit from the ones who succeed. And what they found out is that the ones who succeed selling life insurance, they always have an explanation for their failure that isn't about them and is changeable. So if you ask somebody who's a successful life insurance salesperson, they'll say, oh, well, that person just hung up on me because they were in a hurry, or that person hung up on me because they were having a bad day, or I could hear a baby crying in the background and they had to hang up so that they could go take care of the baby. They never say, it's because I'm a failure, it's because I'm a lousy insurance salesperson. They always attribute it to something else, something that's not them, and something that's temporary. And so let's talk about failure in college and a strategic way to respond to it.